Good day, everybody. My name is Gary Fowler, and I'm the CEO, President, and Founder of GSD Get You Done Venture Studio, the premier AI and quantum venture studio located in the heart of Silicon Valley. I'm a 17-time serial entrepreneur with several unicorns under the belt. I was on the original management team at Click Software, which was sold to Salesforce for $1.35 billion, and also Eva.ai, an AI HR tech company that I co-founded with Dr. David Yang. We believe that intellectual capacity is evenly spread around the world, but opportunities are not. And with that, I'd like to bring on our incredible guest today, Kat Day. She's a co-founder and president of Attitude, a material science company and lifestyle brand making the world's softest and most sustainable bedding and apparel with proprietary clean bamboo. Listed as Inc.'s U.S. fastest growing private company in 2020 and 2021, and she's a winner of the Real Leaders Impact Awards. So, among them are companies like Tesla and Patagonia. So, with that, I'd like to bring Kat on board. Hi, Kat. How are you today?
Hi, Gary. How are you? Thanks for having me
Good.
here.
Good to see you today. So, tell me a little bit about it. So, where are you originally from?
I was born in Russia, but I grew up in New York City, and I went to school in New York, worked in New York for several years, and now I'm based in LA, and currently I'm actually traveling in France.
So you went to Columbia for your MBA, your executive MBA. Now you've got a wide background. I gotta just try to figure this thing out because it's real interesting for me. How in the world do you go from New York Times and multimedia content to I get the public relations in Bloomberg, but where does this whole thing about weird food club stuff come in?
Yes, so it actually just started from my passion for travel. I just wanted to try all sorts of cuisines every time I traveled to a new country, and I did get to travel quite a bit as a consultant in my early days. My first career was in management consulting, and I always wanted to try the local foods. And in New York City, it's such a diverse, culturally diverse, and in terms of culinary diversity, I wanted to bring that sort of adventurous palette to other people. And I started Weird Food Club first, which enabled people to try the craziest things on the menu or things that are off the menu in New York City. And then I founded my next company, which is called Try the World, which brings international gourmet pantry items to your doorstep. And that company was named number 3 fastest growing company in New York in 2017. And shortly afterwards, I sold the company and went on to my current adventure, which I'm currently co-founder and president of Attitude, which is a next-gen materials company. We're creating new fabrics that will
But
change
on
the
this,
world of
tell
fashion.
me about the Weird Food Club because I'm curious about that. What is weird?
At this point, it's kind of a funky name because I think people's palates have opened up so much more since the days that I opened up that first club, when it was weird to eat things that were not American. And nowadays, I think people are just a lot more open-minded. And I think we caught the zeitgeist and really brought that sort of diversity that people craved. And now it's really not weird anymore to eat cuisines from around the world.
Oh, that's interesting. All right, so you've done that. So you were in New York. You did you started in what 20 was it 2011 when you got started? Hold on. No, you were working for. Get this. How do you go to Weight Watchers after the Weird Food Club? Because that was another thing that was really interesting for me. How did
Yeah, it
that?
was actually at the same time, or roughly at the same time, I just discovered this passion for food, and I realized that I wanted to work in the food space at the time. And Weight Watchers opportunity came up to work in their strategy department, and I really was motivated by the mission of the company to help people lead a healthier lifestyle and educate people about nutrition. And myself got super interested in that space, and so I just fell in love with the fact that the company was so mission driven. And actually, since that experience, I decided for myself that I will only work on mission driven companies in the future, or found mission driven companies.
Got it. And so you went there. You were doing. You went to Try the World. So you got this kind of like global thing going around, and then you come back to the food again. What happened with that? Because you did that for
Well, I
5
would say all three of those are food related, right?
years.
Weird Food Globe is all about international cuisine. Weight Watchers is about eating healthy, and then Try the World brings you all natural artisanal cuisine from around the world to your doorstep. So it's all quite related. And I really learned a lot about marketing food while at Weight Watchers because it's really all about it's a consumer brand helping people to understand what the best choices are for them.
Interesting. Okay, and then you did the founders pledge. So, global community of entrepreneurs finding and funding solutions to the world most pressing. What does that mean? What is a pressing problem?
Yeah, Founders Pledge is not something I founded. I'm actually just a member of it. It is a
You're a pledger.
pledge. I'm a pledger, which means that you essentially, when you start a company as a founder, you agree, you pledge to donate the future proceeds of the sale of your company and your personal gains from that sale to some sort of nonprofit. And you can decide in the future what kind of charity you're going to pick. But the idea is you commit up front when it's worth nothing that you're going to give up 2%, 5%, 7%, whatever percent of your gains in the future when it's actually worth something. It's much easier to commit upfront than it is when you actually get that $1 billion check or whatever it's going to be.
And so you were there for 1 month.
Oh no, it's a commitment. So
Oh,
you just sign the commitment whenever you sign it, usually at the beginning of your entrepreneurial journey.
got it. Okay, so let's talk about attitude. So how did that come about, and what made you decide? Now we go from the food thing, but that now we're talking about climate change and eco-friendly textiles and that kind of thing. How did that come about?
Yes. So after I sold Try the World, which again is a mission-driven company that enables this, movement of artisanal and healthy products around the world, I was advising a number of startups in different industries, and Attitude came about. I actually found out about it on AngelList. AngelList.co, Angel.co is a great platform. At least at the time, it was really great to meet other founders or other startup minded folks. And I came across Attitude, my co founder and CEO of Attitude, Phoebe. She had actually spent already about 4 years working on the business, and she's a textile expert. So she spent several decades in the textile space before founding Attitude. And she wanted to create a new material that would be climate friendly. And that is the patented fabric that we use today, which is called clean bamboo. It uses raw organic bamboo as a raw input. And we use an organic chemistry, organic process to actually turn it into fabrics without the use of any harmful chemicals. And we recycle water and the solvent up to 200 times, which ends up saving 98% of it. And so the resulting fabric is not just much more sustainable, like significantly more sustainable than what's available in the market, but also is just incredibly luxurious. It's so soft, it's so breathable, it feels like silk. And when she sent me a sample of this fabric in our first product, which is bedding for Attitude sheets. So bed sheets. She sent me the sheets and I just fell in love with the product. They were the best sheets I've ever slept on. Just so incredibly comfortable,
And now,
cooling, breathable.
bamboo, how in the world, Cat, can you take bamboo, which is stiff, right, and make it soft?
Great question. So yes, bamboo is a very hard plant if you've ever seen it in the real world, and it's pretty abundant in the world. And there are thousands of different species of bamboo, but yeah, the one we use is one of the fastest growing species, and it is hard as a plant. So what you would be surprised, but today we actually do make fabrics out of trees already. Trees are much harder than even bamboo. So what you do is then you use a different kind of solvent that is completely organic to extract the cellulose from the plant material, and that once you have the cellulose, then it kind of looks like a cotton ball, really soft. And then you turn it into yarns. Once you have the yarn, you can knit it or weave it into different kinds of fabrics. And you can create different structures or different textures based on what your ultimate goal is. And so our fiber is actually quite versatile and you can create a lot of different things with it. We started out with what we call vegan silk, and that's what our sheets are made of. They're just so soft and so fine and but also really durable. That's been really great. But after that, we've actually launched a few other really, really interesting things.
Now, how about so how does it compare to like thread count? Because you hear it's 600 thread count sheets. What kind of thread count is a bamboo?
Yeah, so because ours is so fine, we actually don't need so many threads. It's actually a 200 thread count, but it feels like a 1000 thread count Egyptian cotton, or even better than that. What we hear from customers all the time saying like, wow, after sleeping at Attitude, my Egyptian like 1000 thread count cotton sheets feel like sandpaper in comparison. And also thread count, unfortunately, is a very confusing term that no longer really means much because there's so many ways to fake it and consumers can no longer use that to really understand quality. You really need to just feel the fabric to get it.
And so, how does the price compare to where is the price point with the bamboo compared to sheets?
Yeah, our bamboo sheets are actually very competitively priced at about $220 per sheet set, which is about the same that you would pay at Parachute Home or Brooklinen or some others that you would find online.
Hmm.
So we really wanted people to make it a like a no-brainer for people to choose Attitude. Not only is it healthier for the planet and healthier for you because we use absolutely zero harmful chemicals versus cotton, which unfortunately does use pesticides to grow, a lot of water to grow, and also formaldehyde in the finishing. You don't want that on your skin at all. But
Hmm.
also, it's the same price, so why not?
So, where is the bamboo grown? Is it on farms or is it in the wild?
So there are certainly, forests that are protected forests, but we do use sustainable farms. And ours is an organic farm, FSC certified, EcoCert certified organic, and it's actually completely irrigation free. So it grows 100% of rainwater as well. So that's why it's so sustainable and even regenerative because it doesn't require any additional inputs.
That's
But it
great.
grows all over the world.
It grow, and so where do you import it from? Does it grown in the U.S.? Do we have bamboo? Because I've never seen bamboo in the U.S.
There's all kinds of species of bamboo or varieties of bamboo grown in the US. The one that we currently use, actually, we source from China, where it's completely native and it's grown with rainwater and it's the most efficient place to grow. But they do have different kinds of varieties of bamboo all over the world. They're actually planting it all over the African subcontinent, like African continent, to like regenerate lands where you can't grow anything else because they're so depleted, and they're all over South America as well. So really quite abundant all over the world. Just depends on the varieties that you want.
Well, bamboo's kind of like a weed. I mean, it really grows.
Yes. It grows really fast. So if you're going to plant it in your backyard, which lots of people do, you need to make sure that it's kind of contained so it doesn't spread. But it is a great privacy grass. I mean, if you could put a shrub, I guess, but if you want something really tall and something to grow fast, that's one plant to consider.
Is it a shrub or is it a tree?
It's actually a weed. It's a grass.
It is a weed. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So, what about the different species of bamboo? Are there different qualities with those species? Or are they pretty much the same?
Yeah, they have different qualities. Some are used for furniture or, bamboo toothbrushes or, hard flooring, things like that. And that's not the same variety that we use. There are other varieties that people actually eat. I was just traveling through China and you can get really delicious, fresh bamboo shoots, but you can only get them very close to where they're grown. That's when they're the best. So you can have different purposes for different varieties. And then there's one variety that pandas eat. They actually have a specific variety that they like to eat.
Yeah, no, I've seen the pandas with bamboo. I was going to say it's that, that's interesting. So you see they like the bamboo. So so where are you now in terms of the company? And are you going to be in like Costco, or are you going into the mass retailers, or are you staying, with specialty?
Right now, we're in specialty. So we're mostly online at the moment, actually, online with Attitude.com as our main source of sales. But we also partner with retailers like Urban Outfitters and online retailers like Grove Collaborative that is focused on sustainable living. Um, Zola is another one, which is a wedding registry. So we're on a number of different platforms.
And how's business?
It's good. So I think a lot of it just depends on the quality of your product. And I think for now, consumers are really looking for great quality for themselves, healthy products that feel good and also are sustainable. I think there's definitely a movement towards more sustainable products. And Attitude has done all of the difficult work to actually demonstrate that we're not greenwashing. There are so many people that are just taking advantage of the trend, but for Attitude, it's really part of our brand identity, of our cultural identity as an organization. And so we actually went through the really rigorous process of becoming a B Corp. And we have a super high score of 102. And we release an impact report every year for the last 3 years, talking about how much CO2 we've saved, how much water we've saved, as well as other initiatives that we've committed to and we've executed. We're very transparent with our consumer about what we're doing and what we haven't been able to do for various macro conditions or different challenges around the world. So yes, I think consumers are really excited about this type of brand and this type of product, and that's reflected in how quickly we've been able to grow.
Sounds great. And what's this thing with greenwashing? What percentage of the companies out there are greenwashing? But and just tell the audience, what do you mean by greenwashing? They're just saying they're really eco-friendly and they're not, right?
Yes, unfortunately, there's quite a bit of that going on all across the home goods and fashion industry because consumers are demanding it and they're excited about healthier and more sustainable products. People are taking advantage of that. And they are saying they're sustainable, but they're really not, unless you're digging into it and finding out about what materials are they actually using, what practices are they employing. It's really hard to tell. I would recommend that people actually read the label and read the certifications that the brands have. Um, if they have a sustainability page, look at that. See what they've been actually able to commit to. For Attitude in our space, our main differentiator is that we use bamboo as an input, but then we do not use any harmful chemicals to process the bamboo. Bamboo itself is an amazing resource, but before Attitude, actually, all the other bamboo on the market, bamboo textiles, are not sustainable. They use viscose technology, which uses really harmful chemicals to process the bamboo and turn it into fabric. So not only is it harmful for the environment, it's also harmful for the workers, but also ultimately for you as a consumer. You don't want to consume something that's been going through a chemically intensive process. And so they often say that it's sustainable just because bamboo is a great plant, but then they kind of ruin it. So that's one area to look after. But the other thing, there are so many apparel brands that unfortunately are brainwashing. They would say, like, for example, are we using sustainable materials, but they're not sustainable. So I urge everybody to do some digging and learn. One misconception people have is cotton. That cotton is healthy for the planet. It's good for you. It's good for the planet. But it is actually one of the most harmful textiles we have today. And it's so prevalent. It's the biggest natural fiber on the market. Polyester is much larger, but that's like a not natural fiber. So polyester is definitely much worse. But the reason why cotton is bad is because it requires a lot of water to grow it. It depletes the land that it grows on. It requires tons of pesticides and a lot of fertilizer. And all of that contributes to droughts, climate change, CO2 emissions. And ultimately, it's not even a great fabric. It's kind of not breathable. It's sweaty. It traps heat. It's not even that comfortable. So the world.
Bamboo. I mean, does bamboo? So if you have bamboo clothes, can you? Number one, can they make them? Two is how would they feel?
Yes, so they feel much more comfortable than cotton. So yes, you can make clothes out of bamboo and especially clean bamboo. I recommend using clean bamboo versus viscose. Like I talked about, viscose is not healthy, not good for you, not good for the planet. The feel of it is it's much softer and it's a lot more breathable. it's also more durable. So clean bamboo, we've actually done a lot of third-party testing to demonstrate that is better at moisture wicking, better at cooling, which makes you feel comfortable, and it's more durable and prevents pilling, which enables you to have your clothing or your piece of apparel last you longer. You don't have to
What is it called?
throw it out.
Did you say?
It's called lyocell. It's a lyocell technique of processing bamboo, which we trademarked it as clean bamboo because we don't use any harmful chemicals.
Hmm. But then you were saying it lasts longer. Like how much longer would bamboo last in cotton?
Well, we've actually tested it, and I can tell you exactly how long. I will just pull that up right now. It lasts durability. So cotton is actually 52% less durable than clean bamboo. So we're 48% more durable than cotton.
Well, that's great. So everybody out there, check it out. Clean bamboo is the way to go. It lasts longer, helps our planet. And so, where are you going to go with this, Kat? Where you're doing sheets now? Where are you going to go with it?
Yes, so Attitude has gone through such a journey because we've created our direct to consumer brand, which is so well known and loved by everybody, celebrities, 20,000 5-star reviews, etc. But once we've gone through the scientific analysis of actually showing how much more sustainable clean bamboo is versus conventional materials like cotton or viscose, we realized that we have a bigger purpose in life for Attitude, which is more than just creating the best bedding brand in the world. We are actually now partnering with apparel brands all over the world, luxury apparel brands, high-end brands, to replace their usage of cotton, viscose, silk, and even cashmere and linen with our clean bamboo materials. And so that's our next vision, which is to replace as much of these conventional materials that are harmful for the environment and not even that great for you with a much better innovation. So that's what is next for Attitude.
So we're coming up to the top of the show. Closing thoughts and how do people get a hold of you?
So attitude.com, ETTITUDE.com. That's where you can find out more about our products, but also you can check out our material science and our impact reports in there, how it's made. And you can contact me on LinkedIn. I'm Kat Day on LinkedIn, and really happy to chat with folks about new materials.
That's great. Well, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule, Kat, to join us. Check out Attitude. They're making this world a better place. We need more companies like this that can help us live longer and better lives. So thank you very much. Thanks to everybody. Stay tuned for another exciting edition coming back to you on Thursday. Stay happy, stay safe, and stay healthy. And I'll be back to you soon. Thanks again, Kat. Thanks, everybody.